Hello, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Rail Rangers on the Road. Every month, the Midwest Rail Rangers take you to an interesting and unique railroad destination across the Midwest, including places in Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, and Wisconsin. The Midwest Rail Rangers, a 501c3 nonprofit, was founded in 2015 to provide onboard educational programs across the Midwest. Perhaps you have caught us on select weekends on the South Shore Line between Chicago and South Bend, Indiana, on private rail excursions featuring dome cars and other heritage rail equipment, Amtrak charters and motor coach trips organized by the 20th Century Railroad Club of Chicago, open house events at the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad featuring the Sky Parlor car and the Mark Twain Zephyr, and at various outreach events such as Train Fest in Milwaukee and Mad City Rail in Madison, Wisconsin. And now, mark your calendar for the first Sunday night of every month at 7 p.m. Central Time for Rail Rangers on the Road. Without further ado, here is this month's program.
Thanks so much for joining us for another Rail Rangers on the Road episode. I'm Midwest Rail Ranger President Robert Taburn here with you, and it is Sunday, April the 2nd, 2023. And yeah, we're not in the Midwest. We are in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we're going to go for a ride on the Sandia Peak Tramway. We're at about 6,000 feet, but we're going to go all the way up to over 10,000 feet. Not for the faint of heart. That's why Candace isn't here. Anyway, we're going to take you on a ride up the third longest tramway. Again, we're at an elevation of about 6,600 feet. We're going to go up to the top of the mountain over 10,000 feet. It takes about 15 minutes on the tram. So we hope you're excited, and sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode.
now boarding flight 17 to the Pentagon door. Once again, we are now boarding flight 17 to the Pentagon door.
Thanks. Hello. Thank you.
Afternoon, welcome. Afternoon, welcome aboard. Hello, welcome aboard. Yeah. Hello, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, folks. While you're set, slide step down into the cabin. Hello, watch your step, folks. Slight step down into the cabin. If I can just get everyone to clear the stairs real quick. There we go. I'm gonna head right up there.
Sorry.
Huh? You get set. Yeah. So there's storage right up here for like what we need to like quickly grab some
That'd be pretty pleasant.
stuff for you.
No, I'm gonna look that way, so no worries.
All the way up.
No, right this way,
And then all the way underneath deeper storage is oxygen, harness, helmet, water. Yeah. You know, if we know it's gonna be a bad day, you know, we'll put our flashes in there. My name is Connor. I'll be your cabin operator this afternoon. We're starting here from a base elevation of 6,559 feet, and we're traveling all the way up to 10,378 feet for a total elevation change of 3,819 feet along the way. It's going to take us about 15 minutes to reach the top, traveling at a top speed of 19 feet a second, or about 13.5 miles per hour. Total distance of this trip will be 2.5 miles, and I'll let you guys know when we get there. But if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to ask. If not, stand back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful view of the Rio Grande Valley and the Sandia Mountains. If you guys take a look out the front or rear of the cabin, you're going to notice 3 cables. The 2 cables on the outside, those are our track cables. Imagine those as railroad tracks. That's what we ride on. That's what supports our weight. Center cable, that's our haul rope. That's what pulls us up the mountain in this case. And when you guys are heading down, that's what's going to pull you down the mountain. Now, this is not like a ski lift. It doesn't go around in circles all day. It goes up, and then down below, when they are ready to bring it down, the direction of the motor changes, and then it gets brought back down. Down at the bottom is a 600 horsepower DC electric winch, and that's what pulls us up and down the mountain. Just one trip alone costs over $200 in electricity to power the tram.
Wow.
And depending on where we are in the span, that motor will pull anywhere between 8 to almost 1,500 amps of power. Just to keep, or current, I'm sorry, to just put that in perspective, only 2 amps can kill you. So that has almost 500 times the strength to kill you. So some serious electricity. Right here, folks, tower number 1. As we pass over, you will feel a slight swing and sway. Now, if you guys notice, as we pass by, it kind of leans into the city at an 18-degree angle. That's actually by design. Now, if you take a look out to your right side of the cabin, folks, you're going to see a large boulder on a pyramid of rocks. That is called golf ball rock, since it kind of looks like a golf ball up on top of a golf tee. Now, to give you an idea of perspective, folks, how high we are off the ground and how far things are away from us, that rock is about twice the size of this cabin. So imagine taking 2 Chevy Suburbans, parking them next to each other, putting another 2 on top of those. That's how tall that rock is. So when you guys look down, those rocks don't look all too big, but some of them are more than likely bigger than the car you drive. Now, folks, if you take a look behind us and to the left, that rock you see on that peak, that's called Cannon Rock. Cannon Rock gets its name since it appears like a cannon ready to shoot up to the top of the Sandias. Now, what's really cool about Cannon Rock is that you're able to hike up there. There's a nice little ledge for you to put a tent and camp out over the night. Now, construction of this tram began in May of 1964. It took 2 years to build, and it opened to the public on May 7th of 1966. At the time it opened, it was the longest tramway in the world. It was quite an engineering marvel. No tram of this magnitude and size has ever been built before. So even today, this tram is still the 3rd longest in the world, even though it's over 55 years old. Now here off to the right, folks, you're going to see kind of what looks like to be a rock slide. Now this is actually the result of during the construction of the tram. There's a large rock that sat here. They drilled about 20 holes in this. They put some dynamite sticks down there and blew up the rock to prevent the needing of a 3rd tower. Now each year this tram car brings up about 250,000 people up to the top of Sandia Peak. So in our 55 years of operation, that is over 13 million people that we have brought up and down the mountain.
That'd be so cool. I was thinking about seeing that too. But
Have you not had to replace the cables?
We have had to replace the cables, sir. So those track cables that I was talking about earlier, those 2 thick ones on the outside, those were replaced in 1997. Now, what's really unique about those cables is that just one of those cables can support our weight alone, and each cable is rated 30 times the required strength to hold us. So that gives us, a really long life on those cables. It reduces the fatigue on them, as well as it increases the life. To replace those, it takes about 2 months to do, since you have to haul all the cable up to the top of the mountain, and then you have to slowly winch the new cable down, because each of those cables is actually tensioned by a 47-ton counterweight down at the bottom. Now for the haul rope, that center one, those get replaced anywhere every 5 to 7 years, depending on the wear of them. All right, folks, straight ahead is tower number 2. Now tower number 2, it's only 80 feet tall. However, there's another 40 feet of it that go into the rock, anchoring it in its place. Now both towers 1 and 2 are designed to withstand winds in excess of 210 miles an hour. That's the equivalent of getting hit by a direct Category 5 hurricane. Don't expect that to happen here. Now, folks, I think we're a little heavy today, so I need everybody in the front to lift up on that bar so we make it up over this ledge. Everybody lift up! All right. Here we go, folks. A little swing and sway action. All right. Now, this canyon we are entering, this is called Big Canyon. As you guys can tell, it's quite a large canyon, so that's where it gets its name. Now, there's actually 3 canyons that we'll be passing through on our way up to the top. This is the first one. Here in the Sandias, folks, we see a wide variety of wildlife. We'll see not werewolves. That's after the sun goes down. We see wolves, we see mountain lions, we see bobcats, we see cougars. There's cabin number 2 as it goes by. We see deer, we see black bear. Just the other night, there was a black bear knocking on the door of the restaurant last night. So just be aware. If you do see a bear, make yourself seem as loud as possible. Be really big. Put your arms up, scream, "Hey bear." We'll scare them off. They're more scared of you than you are of them. Now, if you are scared of heights, folks, I don't recommend you look down. Right now we're about 1,000 feet off the canyon floor. Now from this height, if you want to take the express exit off the tram, it would take you only 9 seconds to reach the bottom. Just let me know, I'd be happy to open those doors for you.
No.
If not, you're stuck with me for another 7 minutes to the top.
No shadows.
Now, however, with the animals, typically we don't see them here in the afternoon since it does get really warm out in these canyons. Most of the animals are seen during the early morning up until about 11 o'clock. Once that sun comes up over the crest, starts swarming the canyons, those animals like to head a little bit further south where it's a lot more vegetated, a little bit more shadowy for them to escape the heat. Just as we want to escape the heat, so do they. So you can find them down below. You can actually find them down below in this canyon that we are entering, which is called Echo Canyon. So what's really cool about Echo Canyon, folks, is that it is the only source of running water that is available throughout the year. That is thanks to a spring located up at the top of Sandia Peak.
Twice all the trees up there.
Now once it starts to cool off, around end of September, beginning of October, a lot of these aspen trees, they will start changing from their glistening green leaves to some really beautiful yellow and golden colors
I like
until they lose their leaves typically by the end of October. It's a really beautiful time to see the fall colors here in New Mexico is around the middle of October. A really great place to see fall is up in the Enchanted Forest area. It's called the Enchanted Circle. It starts in Taos. It goes all the way through Red River, through Angel Fire, and then back to Taos. Really great drive to do during the day. Some great spots to stop off, get some pictures, get some good food. Now, if you're off to the left, folks, on this cliff, I like to talk about where the Sandias get their name. So if you guys can tell, there's some nice pinkish, reddish colors in that granite rock. That's actually due to feldspar minerals that occur in the granite out here. So at sunset, those feldspar minerals, they really start to glow their pink and red colors, and that's where the Sandias get their name. So Sandia is the Spanish word for watermelon. So imagine the red rocks and the green trees up on top of the crest kind of would look like a slice of watermelon. I don't blame the Spaniards as they passed through here since it was probably hot and all they wanted was a nice cool slice of watermelon. Now the other story about how the Sandias got their name is that the local Pueblo tribes grew gourd-like plains down at the bottom of the mountain. Even though most historians believe that one's true, I still like the first story since it's kind of cool. And this last canyon that we are entering is called Domingo Baca Canyon. You're actually able to hike through Domingo Baca Canyon on your way up to the top of Sandia Peak. You can also hike up along the La Luz Trail. Both of them lead to the same spot, which is the base, or I'm sorry, the top of the tram at the upper terminal. Now, a lot of the rock that you see here in the Sandias, folks, is granite. 90% of the mountain is granite. However, the top 10% is actually limestone. That limestone formed about 300 million years ago when this portion of the United States was covered with a shallow ocean. Now, the Sandias rose out of the ground about 30 million years ago, creating the Rio Grande Rift Valley that you see down below. Now, just to the west of the tram, the granite bedrock ends and a lot of sediment begins. That sediment goes down 20,000 feet until you hit bedrock again. Wow. So if you were to take a tape measure all the way from the top of Sandia Peak and go to the bottom of the Rift Valley, it's over 36,000 feet, making it higher than the Himalayan mountains. Now, folks, if you take a look out to the left, just behind us on that very far left peak, we're going to see a little cabin on top of that peak. That is called the Kiwanis Cabin. Now, that cabin is actually built out of the surrounding limestone. It was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s, and that's where the Civilian Conservation Corps workers lived while building a bunch of trails on the east side of the mountain. Now that cabin was actually built 2 times prior to being made out of stone. The first 2 times it was built out of the surrounding pine trees. First time during a summer storm, it was struck by lightning and it burned down to the ground. Second time, it was blown off the mountain during a winter storm. So they said, hey, rock doesn't burn and it doesn't get blown off mountains easily. So that's what they built it out of. It's about a mile hike there, mile hike back. Gives you some really unique views of the Albuquerque, Rio Grande metro area. And just to let you know, folks, tonight sunset is at 7:39. Don't know how long you folks will be up here for, but if you want to watch the sunset, 7:39 is the time. Now you folks are going to be at over 10,000 feet above sea level, so we recommend you guys drink plenty of water up here. It's always important to hydrate when you're at elevation. And now the last tram car down this evening will be at 10 p.m. So do keep that in mind. If you guys show up at 10:05, sorry, gotta hike down. No, just kidding. We'll get everyone down. You might get stuck on the trash cabin. But every night we bring over 3,000 gallons up to the top of the mountain for the restaurant and for sanitation use. This cabin has an 800-gallon tank attached to the bottom of it. So we'll do about anywhere from 4 to 5 trips every night to bring all that water up to the top of the mountain. As well as every morning, all the food for the restaurant comes up on the first tram ride. And then every evening at the end of the night, all the trash comes down. As you come into the dock, folks, you might feel a few slight bumps. I'll let you know when those are coming. Won't be anything too crazy. Nice calm day today. All right, here comes that first bump in 3, 2, 1, and nice slight bump. And there'll be one more all the way up at the top. Might be a big bump, might be a small bump. You might not even feel it. It all depends on the driver, how he's feeling today. Hope he's in a good mood. All right, folks, here comes that last bump. In 3, 2, 1, and bump. All right, we'll be actually after those doors to my left. Either the ramp or the stairs will take you down to the observation deck and to the restaurant 10-3. It was a pleasure to take you guys up the mountain today. Enjoy your time up here this afternoon. And I might see some of you guys on the way back down. Enjoy your time up here, folks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Hey guys, it's Chris's birthday today, actually, so let's wish him a happy birthday. Once he opens those doors, we'll give him a nice chorus. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. Turn 12, guys. Thank you.
Hey, has anyone ever taken the express exit on?
No. No.
Oh,
No, never.
you guys can read your
Well, here we are, 10,300 feet in elevation at the top of Sandia Peak, as you can see behind me. So hope you enjoy the views. We are here, just takes your breath away up here at this elevation. So we came up, now we gotta head back down. So hope you enjoyed the ride back down as much as you did going up the mountain. Well, thanks so much for joining us for this Rail Rangers on the Road episode here from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm Midwest Rail Rangers President Robert Taburn here with you. Hope you enjoyed my presentation this evening. Not quite a train, but we're going to go for a ride. We did go for a ride there on the Sandia Peak Tramway. And I hope you enjoyed the ride. Come out to take the Southwest Chief out to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and you can go for a ride yourself. Well, that is it for us. We will see you the first Sunday in May of 2023 with another Rail Rangers on the Road episode. Until then, take care, everybody.
On behalf of the Midwest Rail Rangers, thank you so much for joining us for this program. Here's a look at the next program. Make sure you mark your calendar for this, and we look forward to seeing you then. In the meanwhile, if you're planning an Amtrak trip, don't forget about one of our exciting and interesting rail route guides. For more information, go to www.railrangers.org. That's www.railrangers.org. And click on the Rail Rangers store. There are plenty of options for both local and long-distance rail route guides in traditional book format, PDF ebook, and even MP3 podcasts. Until we gather together next month, the first Sunday of every month at 7 p.m. Central Time, We hope you have a great week and a great month ahead, and come out and join us on one of our onboard educational programs. For a listing of our in-person programs, go to our website. Again, that's www.railrangers.org and click on upcoming events. Until next month, we'll see you then.